I'm Shay Cornett. Stephen A. Smith will be with us in a minute. Vincent Goodwill is here. Big Perk, what's going on? We are ready to rock because you know what? There was a lot of movement this week. In case you've forgotten, there was actually an NBA draft, but that wasn't all that took place. Let's get right into it. Giannis Antetokounmpo is now wearing a different jersey. He is no longer with the Milwaukee Bucks. He has gone to the Miami Heat along with Bobby Portis for Tyler Hero and multiple first-round picks. He's not the only one, though, that was on the move this week. Also yesterday, we learned LaMelo Ball is going to team up with Anthony Edwards in Minnesota in a trade that sent Naz Reid and picks to Charlotte. The Timberwolves fell short of the Western Conference Finals this year after making it the 2 years prior. And so now that we've had a little bit of time to reflect, let's think about which was more impactful. Was it Giannis now going with the Heat or LaMelo now going with the Minnesota Timberwolves? Kendrick Perkins, what do you think?
It's Melo going with Ant-Man. It's Melo going with Ant-Man. We're witnessing a young backcourt that could do something special for the next 5 to 6 years. Anthony Edwards has been dying to play with a point guard of LaMelo's status. When you talk about him being able to set the table for Anthony Edwards has been one of the best three-point shooters in this league over the last 2 seasons. And now all of a sudden you have a point guard that's not only going to push the pace, not only could score the basketball, but also could set the table so that Anthony Edwards could be the best version of himself at the 2 guard. It's times that we were watching Minnesota, and I felt like the usage rate of Anthony Edwards was too much. He was having to bring the ball up the floor. He was having to go out there and damn near average 30. He was having to set the table for his teammates. And we know he's gotten better in those areas, but now you put Anthony Edwards in position where all he has to do is worry about getting buckets. Oh, it's about to be hell and hot water for the rest of the league.
I completely disagree with Big Perk, but not because of what he said about Ant-Man and LaMelo. It's because he's not taking competition that exists in the Western Conference and what you're going to have to go through. Ant-Man and LaMelo Ball can potentially be lethal, no doubt about it. You know how I feel about Ant-Man, Big Perk. Vinny, you know that. But in the end, shoot, they ain't going to eclipse OKC. It's not going to knock off San Antonio. You're still going to have a hard time, as far as I'm concerned, with Denver and Houston. I'm just going to keep it a buck in that regard. I think the road to prosperity is what you have to take into consideration here, and that's why I think that Giannis is the more impactful deal. Consider the fact that in a restricted area, essentially in the paint, that the Miami Heat ranked in the bottom 10 over the last several years in the NBA. They didn't have any interior kind of offense whatsoever. Giannis shot 71% from the field last year. 79%, I believe the number was. 79% of his shots came in the paint. 79% of his shots in the paint area. And obviously he was a league leader in that category in terms of what he brings. You're talking about a problem solution situation that the Miami Heat directly addressed by grabbing Giannis Antetokounmpo. When you combine that with Bobby Portis being his teammate, who is no scrub, we don't mention him enough. He is not a scrub. The brother can play. He's there. Then you combine that with the fact that you got a situation where Bam Adebayo, a 20-10 player, who's an all-star caliber player, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and an elite defensive player. You look at that front line, it is not something to sneeze at. They still got to fill out a roster, make no mistake. But the road to prosperity in the Eastern Conference is a little bit easier to tackle than the West. And that's why I say Giannis is the more impactful move, because the level of resistance that he'd have in the West is not necessarily what he's going to have in the East.
I'm not going to completely disagree with Perk on anything that he said, but we've been talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo and his future for the past 3 or 4 years because he's an MVP, because he's an NBA Finals MVP. And now you pair him not only with the Miami Heat as an organization that you trust will go out and get the pieces that can surround him with the shooting, with the ball handling, with everything else. You also give him a player in Bam Adebayo that qualifies as the best player he will have played with in his career. And you give Bam a guy now that's markedly better than him. And you put Bam in a position where Bam can do all the little things that Bam does. You're not focusing on Bam being a 20 and 10 guy. You don't worry about Bam scoring 80 points in a game or whatever. Bam can be the most versatile defender this side of Victor Wembanyama, and that will help out Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is still, at this point in his career, an MVP type of player. He's finished top 5 in MVP up until last year where he played 36 games. I believe it was 7 straight years finishing in the top 5. And then you go and play in the Eastern Conference, where it's markedly easier to get to the finals. That's not a disrespect to the New York Knicks, but it's one team as opposed to San Antonio and Oklahoma City. And I think the urgency is going to be there for Giannis. Do we know how urgent LaMelo Ball is going to be playing basketball this year? I know we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but we know that Giannis has all the urgency to play serious basketball this year, next year. His clock is ticking. He doesn't have time to waste. So that's why I think that Giannis is by far the most important acquisition out of the two.
That don't have anything to do with my opinion. I don't give a damn about urgency because I think LaMelo's going to have urgency. I think that playing with Ant-Man is urgent. I'm not going to sit up there and dismiss that acquisition like that. I'm just simply talking about the powers that be in the West compared to what the East is looking like. And I think that in the Eastern Conference, Giannis with Bam in Miami, there's a road to prosperity that's a little bit easier to tackle than what's waiting out West.
Kirk, you want to respond?
And see, this is the problem. Real talk. This is the problem, is that it's a lot of people out here that don't take LaMelo Ball serious. And I don't know what's the problem. I don't know why people feel like this man is not a hooper or a competitor. I don't know if it's because he has the IG followers, he posts on IG, or he has the tattoos. But when this man steps between the lines, this man goes out there and gives people that work. I understand it may look like he's having fun, and he is, but at the same time, he's trying to bust your ass every time he get between those lines. And when I think about LaMelo Ball 2 seasons ago, because he did sacrifice this season a lot because of the personnel he had around him, I believe the man was averaging about 25 points and 8 assists. You pair him alongside Anthony Edwards, who, by the way, also is one of those guys that we believe that's always going to finish in the MVP conversation, and you have that backcourt. I don't give a damn if it is in the Western Conference. Tell me how you're going to game plan for it. Tell me if teams are going to be allowed to send a trap and a double team now at Anthony Edwards to get the ball out of his hands and say, hey, someone else make a play for him. The thing is, hold on one second, because it's been pissing me off. It's been pissing me off. Put me up so I can see Stephen A. and Vinny. Put me up, because this junk has been running me hot for the longest. Like, I feel like LaMelo Ball has been getting criticism that has been unfair. And I'm not talking about from YouTube. I'm talking about from the world. This man